So I made the big news this week. As I said, I trended on the gimmick. I was retweeted numerous of times. And, like I said, everything was very positive. Of course, some people were like, "Oh, you said you'd never do this." Well, no, actually, I didn't. I had to admit, and actually, it's kind of pissing me off, this whole thing, because I've never admitted that I was wrong so many times in the course of like a fucking single 3-month period. I didn't think they put the rock and roll in, and they did. And I really didn't think that they would ask me to do it, and they did. And I guess I couldn't really go back on another of my words and have to be wrong again and say that I would do it if they asked, and to try to be the kinder and gentler Jim Cornette that I have become in my old age. I must admit, it was a very cordial conversation. I don't know if I'm even supposed to reveal who does these things, so I shall err on the side of safety, but it was high up in the organization. It was a cordial conversation, and they want to recognize Ricky and Robert, and they said I was the guy to do it. And apparently from the Cult of Cornette members agree. And maybe I'm going to give the credit to the Cult of Cornette members to begin with, because if they hadn't put on such a campaign, which I, by the way, did not authorize, as you'll remember, I'm not trying to heel my way into a spot, but, anyway, it was cordial. I'm going to be doing that. I'm also, as a matter of fact, going to be making an Access autograph signing, I guess, in the Legends section.
Oh, wow.
Wherever, just look for, I think they want people to see that I've actually showed up and I'm going to be there, right? But it's Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. at Access. If you look for the Legends section, apparently wherever the oxygen, and there's going to be an ambulance standing by and some walkers and some of those hover rounds. I'll be signing autographs. I don't know who else will be there.
You look in between Hillbilly Jim and the Brooklyn Brawler, and you will find Mr. Cornette.
Actually, I hope I'm next to the Brawler, because between him and Bruno Harvey, that way I'll have all the refreshments and everything. No, in all seriousness, how could I really not do this? Because they're going to honor Ricky and Robert. Rock and Roll Express deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I was surprised, but yet flattered that they asked me to do it, because that is the best thing for business. Maybe there is something to that saying after all. And I hope that now the pressure is on me, because Twitter just exploded to the point where I've got to be great now. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if I can possibly be this good. I don't know if I could be this good when I was still good, as what people are expecting this to be like the goddamn Sermon on the Mount or whatever the fuck. So I might have to cancel. No, I'm not.
Well, you've never actually done anything like that, just a speech in a giant room before.
Well, it depends on your definition of giant, but this will be the biggest. But once again, I hope I will be able to fulfill expectations. But it's going to be, and also I get a chance basically to not only to induct and honor two guys that I made an incredible amount of money with, and probably wouldn't be sitting here, today talking to you on this program, or certainly not as popular if it hadn't been for them. But also we get to at least see some clips of the good old days, played again. And it's nice for the younger audience. So yeah, I'll be doing the Hall of Fame ceremony on Friday. As I mentioned, the Access appearance on Thursday night from 8 to 10. So if there's any Cult of Cornette members in Orlando, but now bear in mind, you can still come see me Saturday morning, April the 1st, at the What Culture Pro Wrestling Show, where you are assured of getting a chance to see me in person and purchasing fine Cornette's Collectibles products and official Jim Cornette merchandise. That'll be at the Orlando Sports Center on Kings Point Parkway, Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, the meet and greet, and 1:30, the What Culture Pro Wrestling State of Emergency event with Drew Galloway and Rampage for the WCPW title, El Ligero and Ricochet, and many more, including Michael Elgin and Joe Hendry and Grado and Bobby Fish, right there, April 1st, Saturday. But anyway,
look, Jim, can I ask you a few questions on behalf of the Cult of Cornette?
Yes, go ahead. Well, I was going to close up by saying that, I hope that that it will be a successful evening for all concerned, but to start to shoot down any more rumors that I've already seen on Twitter and from emails from the cult members and etc. I've always said I would be glad to visit anywhere, but I'm not going to live any place except Castle Cornette, and that is in this instance correct. I'm visiting. We've agreed to this. I guess my mind has to be open now because I never thought they'd do this, but I'm not going to be managing the WWF champion. I'm not going to be taking over Raw commentary. I'm not going to be taking the book or whatever wild extrapolation that everybody is starting to make, for God's sake. So I just want to make that clear. And now fire away your questions, sir.
And let me just remind you also, if you're on stage and someone happens to wheel out a cake,
I'm staying away from cakes. There's going to be, but now I've got to be honest with you. Just in case, I'm going to have a racket. I'm not sure what's going to be inside of it, but just in case. Anyway, what did you?
I'm sure there's a few questions everyone wants to know. I recognize what you just said before, that you don't want to give too many details about how this was set up right now. Maybe in the future you'll find out what's kosher to reveal and what isn't. But I'm sure.
Well, I just don't want to be acting like Jim Cornette the first week. I fucking told everything. I don't know what the fuck they kayfabe up there anymore, or if they do.
Well, I'm sure one of the questions everyone's going to wonder is, for this event, for the Access autograph signing, are you signing a contract with the WWE? Is there any contract in play here?
I'm not signing a contract with the WWE. There's an agreement for the night of the Hall of Fame ceremonies and promotion surrounding same.
Is there anything in the works beyond this WrestleMania weekend? Or it's not even a weekend now, it's like a week.
Yeah, but pretty soon it's going to be, what month is WrestleMania next year? You can take off work and board the kids. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But is there anything, I mean, is this basically just a one-time, one series of events kind of thing, or?
We've not been so fucking negative that we said, okay, this is the only thing we're ever going to do. but there's nothing, there's nothing being spoken of past this. But apparently now you never say never.
You never say never.
I I wasn't actually going to Orlando for WrestleMania week till November. I was planning on not going. And then things suddenly started. Now I'm doing 4 different things or whatever.
I'm sure one of the things people are wondering, just because of things that have happened in the past with certain other people and other talent that are signed to the WWE. And of course, you're not signed to them, but there's no chance, there's no risk that they'll say you can't do What Culture or anything. You're absolutely 100% going to be there.
No, I'm going to be at all. No, I have actually a written contract with them. I'm going to be at all the appearances that I wouldn't be plugging the goddamn thing if I wasn't going to do it. I'd be trying to back up from it. No, I will be at everything that I have been advertising I was going to be at. And you can go to jimcornette.com actually and click on events and appearances, and you will find those.
Couple more questions. Obviously, one of the biggest shows of the year for NXT is WrestleMania weekend. Any chance you'll get a chance to check out NXT in person, see the revival finally in person?
Now you're going to bury me because, look here, I'm an old man. I'm driving the intrepid Kenny McIntosh and his cameraman 2 days, 900 miles down to Orlando. I'm going to do the Access. I'm going to do the Hall of Fame. I'm going to do the What Culture show. I'm going to do Jim Ross's show in the space of like a fucking 4-day period. If I sleep, then it'll be lucky. And now you want to try to get me to go and I'm going to be a prick if I don't show up there. I'm not scheduled to be there. Do not buy tickets based on my appearance. Let's put it that way.
You have been gone from the WWE for many years. You left Connecticut a long time ago. You stopped working with them in OVW a long time ago. So it's been a while, but there are still people there who you know, people you had relationships with, people you worked with, guys you worked with in Ring of Honor. There's a lot of people there. Who are you looking forward to seeing that you haven't seen in a long time?
Oh, God. Now you've put me on the spot. Well, no, see, once again, you're going to bury me. Oh, look, now they're calling now. What the fuck? You're going to bury me because if I don't say a specific person, then when they see me, they're going to go, well, fuck, you could have mentioned me first. Actually, maybe that's not true. Maybe it'll backfire because nobody wants to be, we're going to stay away from him. You got the fucking heat. I'm not going to mention any names of who. Let's say this. There are some people I'm looking forward to seeing again. and I will be going up to them and hopefully hugging them if I haven't got too much residual heat. And anybody that I'm not looking forward to seeing, I will try to be calm enough to stay away from for the course of the weekend. I'm not going in to make any news, but that's because our friend the Archbishop of Talentberry is not going to be there either. That's the only person I couldn't trust myself around.
Well, let's make sure we get that under contract that he will not be there.
Yeah, no, that's a deal breaker. That wouldn't happen.
Have you thought about the idea of, after all these years, and you never really had a direct problem with him, but seeing Vince, Vince will probably give you a big hug, say, "How you doing, pal?" and what that conversation will be?
Fuck. That's the thing. He squeezes you so hard. I'm going to have to block him if I can, because he squeezes you so hard. I could be hurt. I'm more fragile than he remembers. No, I am looking forward to seeing. I've never actually had, and I think I mentioned to you before, an argument with, argue finishes or angles or, promos or whatever, back and forth, but not a mad yelling. He's a hard person to argue with. But I have had a lot of issues with some people that have worked with him, or worked for him, I should say, some of whom are still there and some of whom are not. And I guess I'm going to follow the Boland policy. I'm going to try to talk to more of the good people and less of the bad people.
Well, I'm happy this has happened, Jim. I've made different comments on the show about it, that it should happen. There's no better person to induct the Rock and Roll Express. And I congratulate them, but also you. I feel like this is really a cool thing, and I'm happy that you're being a part of it.
Well, but here's the thing. The Cult of Cornette, they've already got me this far, because I know that the demand was such on the Twitterverse and etc. So now what everybody's got to do is just for one night, just watch the Hall of Fame show. I'm not asking you to watch anything else. Just watch that show. And then suddenly the fucking rating spikes 500,000 people because Jim Cornette's on, and then they go away. That would be the ultimate fucking finale for it. And now they're going to say, "Oh, Cornette was saying don't watch our fucking shows." But yeah, for me, watch the Cult of Cornette. That's my request for this month to do something for, and see Ricky and Robert get inducted and get honored. And make me look like the big media sensation. And then I'll be gone and they'll be like, "What the fuck?" He came, he conquered, he left.
You obviously know that you're the one now everyone's talking. You're the speech everyone's going to be waiting to see what happens. I mean, we know you're not going to go up there and yell "pussy."
Baba Booey, Baba Booey, yeah. Baba Booey.
But everyone's going to be really curious about your speech. I think a lot of people just expect it'll be the best speech of the night because of just how well you are at framing things, but also there are probably some people who think, okay, there's going to be some kind of crazy moment, but your speech now is the centerpiece of that Hall of Fame. Everyone's going to be waiting to see what you say.
Stop it now. You're put too much pressure. Like I said, I told the people, and we're doing another buffet with Boland, by the way, folks, at the Golden Corral on Taylorsville Road in Louisville on April 29th. It's a Saturday, 3 to 6 p.m.
That's a bit of a step down.
Me and Star Maker at the Golden Corral. We're going to do it because last time it's limited to 75 people. I think it's $39.95. And it's limited to 75 people because that's all we can get in the room. And last time, some people drove from as far as Florida. And I felt the pressure was on me. I couldn't be good enough to justify them driving all the way from Florida, 600 miles, just to see that and then go back. And now you've done the same thing. I'm going to have to unleash a thank you, fuck you, bye, or some kind of incredible moment to live up to this. So maybe I'll get all the way to the end and maybe just watch to the end. Just see what happens at the end.
Do they have teleprompters? I actually don't know because I've never been to one of their Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
Things.
I've been to Hall of Fames in the 90s when we didn't even have teleprompters on fucking TV back then. So I don't know what they have. I don't plan to be using one.
Okay.
But if they, then people would get mad at me like they got mad at Obama. They say, "Well, he was just reading it."